Up Otters. What's up, Otters fans? Trevor Cabana here, host of Off the Record, as we welcome you in to another edition of the show. On this week's edition, we sit down with Otters forward Jake Murray, talk about his love of the game, growing up in a small town, and what it's meant to wear the Otters logo. Come along, let's have some fun. Well, here we are, another episode of Off the Record, official podcast of the Erie Otters, and so pleased to be joined by Otters' first-round pick, doing his first podcast, Jake Murray. Murr, thanks so much for taking some time.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into things here. And obviously the Otters a couple of weeks ago coming off of their visit to Owen Sound. Of course, for you growing up in Meaford, just about, 18 miles, I think it was, away from the Bay Shore in Owen Sound. And growing up in a small town, I think population is, a little under 20,000 or so?
Something like that.
So it's not a huge town. Talk to me about growing up in a small town and, how that kind of and where your love for hockey kind of came from there.
Yeah, I think kind of growing up from a small town like that is kind of truly made me into the person I am. I feel like not a lot of people come from that town, especially a small town like that. So kind of having that recognition of myself going back there, it's pretty cool. And then all the hockey there, it's not much, but it did the job for me, and it kind of made me fall in love with it even more, just grinding out every day. There's not much to do there. So I think I was just in the basement every day and on the ice every day as much as I can as a kid. So just being from a small town is just really cool.
And imagine probably a little bit of a local celebrity now as well.
It's
making it to the OHL.
It's really cool. Going back, even last year, my U16 year, everyone would come up to me and kind of shake my hand and kind of tell me how proud they are of me, and I'm doing this town pretty good. So it was really cool to have that.
Is it kind of like the everybody knows everybody kind of vibe there?
Yeah, and it's great. Everyone's so nice to each other, and everyone has my back. Everyone has each other's back in that town, so it's really cool.
That's pretty sweet. So obviously you grow up, you're playing there, and then you make the move to Huron-Perth. Talk to me about how last season really molded you into the player you are today.
Yeah, I think it was all my coach, to be honest. Chris Barch coaches in Niagara Ice Dogs now, but I missed my U14 year actually, so I kind of was a skill guy growing up, but after that, U15 year came along and it was my first year hitting, so he kind of engraved to me that I'm not going to be that skilled guy in the next level, and I have to do the dirty work now. So I think that was the biggest thing coming off last year, was to have a little bit of skill as well, but also to go to those little areas, and the net is a big thing for me with my height and that age, and to kind of be a man out with boys in that age group.
Talk to me about your relationship with him. I had the chance to sit down with him before the last matchup, and I asked him about you. I'd love to hear kind of your perspective on him and how he kind of took you in a little bit.
Yeah, he's a great coach, great guy, pretty much my father. So we still talk to this day, and I'm always at their house. All the breaks we get, I'm going back there, going to see them, and their cooking is really good. So yeah, really good cooking.
What's the best thing they make?
Corn on blue is really good by her. Holly is his wife, so it's really good. But yeah, he's just a great human. He's hard, he's tough, but he gets you into the shape, and he gets you to that next level, I feel like.
Yeah, he had definitely mentioned how you had become kind of like a son to him, and now you're saying like a father to you. It's really cool to kind of see that, and obviously his son plays in the OHL as well, Hayden with the Saginaw Spirits. So obviously that connection is really unique and really cool to kind of see now how, he goes, has an incredible season there, gets the head coach job in Niagara, has done such a nice job there, and obviously you playing at the OHL level, it kind of feels like a first full circle moment a little bit.
Yeah, it's really cool. Even like the brother, like in the OHL, he's always calling me, and we're always on the phone with each other, and even the one that's my age, Kane, I think me and him are on the phone twice a day, 3 times a day, like just catching up with each other, so it is really cool for sure.
Yeah, pretty cool to see that relationship. So then moving on, you get drafted by the Erie Otters in April. I remember it well. We were sitting in a conference room at the Delta London as the Otters were in the playoffs against the Knights. Myself, Sean Bednard, who was obviously my broadcast partner, and Peter Rashinsky, our digital content manager. Just that whole night, just sitting in that room for the first 3 rounds of the draft, getting a call from Dave Brown, said, "Hey, Jake Murray here on Perth. That's our guy." Write up the release, and boom, there it goes. Yeah. Obviously, you got a similar phone call, except probably a little bit cooler than the one we got. Walk me through that moment.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, that whole day I went to school and I was just talking to my buddies, like, I'm like stressed there right now. Like, I don't know how it's going to go. And they were the same way. And we were kind of just like, I'm not doing schoolwork today. I'm just going to worry about this. And I remember my sister picked me up. I went back home to Meaford and I was stressing in the car, but I was trying to get my mind off it. So we were just kind of having chats, and the whole day I was just anxious to get to that time. And I sat on the couch, and everyone came over. My family, I had a lot of family over, so that was really cool and special for me to have everyone like that come over. But I was watching the draft, and honestly, I had no clue. Like, I know some of my friends kind of had an idea where they were going, but I didn't really have an idea. And after the 10th came, and the 11th came, and then the 12th, obviously, I think my dad got a call from my agent and kind of gave me that look, and I didn't know what kind of look it was, but I didn't really expect it, to be honest. And then I get a phone call from Pennsylvania, and obviously Erie was up, so my whole heart dropped. Kind of just, it was such a cool moment, and I'll never forget that for sure.
Yeah, that's a sweet one. Again, being around your family as well, for that had to have been really cool, and being able to go back home and do it at home, right? And again, it feels like Meaford has such a special place in who you are and who you've become, and to kind of be there for that moment had to be kind of full circle.
Yeah, that was I think the best part. I mean, obviously I wanted to be with my friends back at Grand Bend where I played for here on Perth, but coming home was really cool, and just to see all the people come out. Like, I think I could have had over 100 people come to my house, but I only wanted to make it short just in case. But it was really cool. Yeah,
and obviously you mentioned you didn't really know where you were going.
Yeah.
What is that like? Obviously, kind of the anxiety and just the, again, that sense of the unknown.
Yeah, it was like, as soon as I heard my name, I think I said right after I got drafted, like, it took a lot of weight off my shoulders for sure, because you're just sitting there, you don't know anything, you don't know what to expect, like, you don't know if it's going to go good or bad, and for me it went really good. So that definitely was a day that was a lot of jitters, a lot of excitement, and a lot of like anxiety for sure. So it was a cool moment.
Obviously, you mentioned to me on our way over here that you grew up a fan of the OHL, a fan of the Owen Sound Attack, and going to a lot of games. Was this league always kind of a dream for you to get to this level?
Yeah, for sure. I think just playing, like, growing up minor hockey, going to the Owen Sound games, like, that was like the big thing for me. I always saw them as a big stage, and I always wanted to get to that level for sure. I knew a lot of guys coming out of their OHL, like the Owen Sound too, were my favorite players growing up. So that was always my dream come true for me for Dan.
You grew up in some good years with the Owen Sound Attack too, with Nick Suzuki and Michael McNiven in net. Like, I remember the Otters and Attack played a great series in 2017. It was the Western Conference Finals. So, like, again, growing up around, seeing those guys had to kind of ignite that fire a bit.
Yeah, that was like a cool part. Like, especially like Nick Suzuki, Kyle Platzer. He was my favorite player growing up for the Owen Sound, and Phillips was a big one too, and like a lot of them, like, just seeing them and see where they are now, like, it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, obviously Nick Suzuki, captain of the Montreal Canadiens. That guy was a thorn in the Otters side for a couple of years there. I always enjoyed watching him play, though. His game just stuck out every time. you'd see the Owen Sound attack play, and obviously the Otters and attack would see each other pretty often when I was growing up, and still do to this day. But those matchups were always a lot of fun, and obviously for you, kind of being there and being a part of those growing up, and then again getting to this league, and obviously you had mentioned being a part of things, seeing the Erie Otters growing up. What was it like kind of knowing, wow, okay, I've got to now move all the way to Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I think moving like all the way to here I was a little bit excited, like going to the States, because I always like going past the border and stuff. But like it's pretty cool to be here, but also like it's just a new experience for me. It's a whole new life. So to kind of get that new fresh start is really cool.
What have been some of the differences you've noticed from being here in Erie, obviously what's I would consider a small city, to Meaford, which is a small town? Yeah,
I actually like it that I'm staying out in Fairview, because it's kind of like a bigger version of Meaford, kind of like it's open farmland and stuff like that. So it's kind of used to it. But the differences I think are just like there's not much, or there's more to do here than there is back at home, and I'm trying to make the most of that and do it with my my billet brother, Caden Edwards. So we're just out of the house trying to do as much as we can.
Yeah, that's always a lot of fun, and we'll get into some of those spots that you guys like in a little bit. But let's talk about you get here, you get through orientation camp, you get through training camp, and then have to kind of fight your way onto the roster a little bit. Talk to me about just kind of that grind through the summer and getting to opening night.
Yeah, I think like orientation camp was, I didn't really go on the ice a bunch before that, because I kind of took it off after our season ended. So I think it was kind of a little rusty going into that, but I was just trying to work my hardest and kind of show the coaches that, they picked the right guy, and, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be on this team. So after that, I kind of went back home. I spent some time with family. My grandma actually passed away right after that. So we spent some time at home with all my family, and then I moved to Toronto. I live with my other best friend, Cam Warren, who plays in North Bay. So I live with him in the summer, and we go to Gary Roberts. So it's a great spot to be. High level training, high compete. So I think I was just working on that and trying to be better going into the next level, and kind of working on the fast pace and the speed for sure. But yeah.
Yeah, obviously that's something you hear about a lot. What jumped out at you going from here on Perth and playing in the Alliance versus the OHL once you hit it here coming out in the early months of the year?
I think it's just like it's faster, but like you don't have as much time as you did in minor hockey. I think this is the biggest jump from being back at minor hockey and here now.
Yeah, that's one you hear a lot, right?
Yeah.
Because and then again, as you move up the levels, right, that time on the puck is something that if you go to the ECHL, you're gonna have less than the AHL, less than the NHL. You catch a pass and you got to make a play instantly.
Exactly.
I feel like that's something you hear a lot from a lot of guys. That's really something that you notice right away is again that timing element.
Yeah, I think exactly. Like, I think I've been grateful to have Frasca's been working with me after practice, because I think he kind of noticed that too as well with me, and the coaches as well have just helped me feel like confident. So I think that's the biggest thing, is just gaining my confidence to have that puck control again, like get back to minor hockey kind of feel like like you're in the bigger level now, right? So you're obviously going to be a little bit scared, but I think a lot of people have done great to help me along the way.
Absolutely. And again, that adjustment's interesting too, because you go from minor hockey and basically, obviously, to be a first-round pick, you're going to dominate that level of minor hockey, to go into the OHL and obviously trying to get your feet wet at that next level. Talk to me about, again, that kind of adjustment from being almost a big fish in a small pond to a minnow in an ocean, if that makes sense, if that analogy works out.
Yeah, like I think, again, like minor hockey, like you're obviously... for me, like a bigger guy, I felt like, I kind of took control of the game almost in that level. But, stepping up here, I just want to kind of create that as well. But, obviously, like there's a lot of bigger guys in this league and faster, and, they're out-muscle you a little bit. So I think kind of just keeping my, my game and kind of progressing it as long as the way. Like, I think it was pretty hard coming in. Like, you're nervous, but you're also excited. So I think kind of just playing hard and kind of gaining confidence at every game.
And you've had some early success as well. How does that help out, especially confidence-wise, saying, you know what? I am good enough to play in this league, and I am, I'm an OHLer. I imagine that's got to build on your confidence a little bit.
Yeah, I think kind of just like every time, I'm going in the dirty areas or to the net, I don't see a lot of guys even older than me do that. So I kind of take a lot of confidence with that, and kind of be like, I don't care if they're older than me. I'm still going to go to the net. I'm going to push them around. Like, I don't care. Like, this is my game, so I'm going to do that.
Absolutely. As you should, man. Yeah. I love that. That's fantastic. And obviously, first game of the year was in Guelph, not too far away from home, or straight up, Highway 6, I think it is, all the way to Owen Sound and over to Meaford. Walk me through kind of maybe some of the jitters and what you were feeling those first couple of games, and you hit the home opener the next day.
Yeah, I think like the Peterborough preseason games and all the preseason games were kind of like a little, maybe we'll calm down a bit, all this. But and then when you get to the first game, obviously there's nerves, excitement as well. Like I think the first time when I went out for warm-ups, I was like, wow, like this is really cool. And, after that, like I kind of just went into my groove, try to play my game, play the best I can. Obviously made some mistakes because it's my first game, but then the home opener, I think that was the coolest part. That national anthem, sitting on that line, I was looking around, I had the chills. Like it was really cool.
Yeah, nobody does it like Roy Hollis either.
Yeah,
Erie legend
awesome.
Singing the anthem there. You get the bombs bursting in air. Unbelievable stuff from Roy Hollis. It's a big game when Roy Hollis sings the national anthem.
It was awesome.
He's the man. So many great memories, again, growing up here, and him doing the anthem before big games in the playoffs and, the finals and everything. And it's like... It has that big game feel to it. I imagine for somebody playing for the first time in front of the Erie Insurance Arena, that sticks out. And obviously walking down the red carpet, like that has to be pretty cool as a young guy.
That was like, I never expect that. Like, I don't think much teams do that whole like carpet walk.
I thought they rolled out the red carpet every time you pop up in Meaford though.
Maybe. But no, that was really cool. Like I came in the car with Frasca, and I remember looking outside, and there were so many people just outside, and there's like games and stuff going on. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. Like this is something like you go to an NHL game, you're tailgating and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. So coming down the red carpet was obviously really special too, and having all those fans early like that is pretty cool. It's a great fan base, so for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, you get your first goal a couple of weeks later against Sudbury Wolves at the EIA. Walk me through that moment. And again, going to Jake Murray's office right in the front of the net there.
Yeah, exactly right in front of the net. I mean, it's where I'll score most of my goals this year. But yeah, I kind of just saw Trav shooting it and wanted to get a stick on it. So tipped it in. I honestly didn't know it went in until I saw guys coming over to me. So I did make a double look back. But then I thought, first goal, I kind of got to sally hard here. So got to get the crowd going. And, we didn't get the result that game, but it really felt really good to get the first one.
Yeah, that's always going to feel good to get that monkey off your back, especially, again, as a young guy, 16-year-old in this league. And to get it early on, too, right? You're only a handful of games into the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that had to be pretty good to again get that monkey off your back.
Yeah, it felt special for sure.
And again, doing it at home always feels a little bit better, right?
Exactly.
So then you roll on through the season, and you've had an opportunity to go home and play a handful of games in Owen Sound, just about 20 minutes from where you grew up. Talk me through that experience and what it was like returning to the Bayshore, again, a rink that you spent so much time in as a youngster.
Yeah, it was really cool. I think just seeing all like the places we skip past to go there, and kind of growing up knowing where everything is, it's really cool. Especially have guys on the team that have no clue where we are, and I'm just passing by. So I think a lot of people knew I was coming home for sure. I saw a lot of familiar faces at the rink even before. I think there's over 100 people there, so that was really cool. And just to see the support that my town has for me coming back is probably the biggest thing I got out of that trip. But even just to go home for a bit, a couple hours, and see the family and be back in my own bed for a little bit. I think the one time I laid in my bed for 10 minutes just to get the feel of it again. But, it was really special just to go back and to that moment and that memory for sure. Especially
as much as we are in a hotel, I imagine just the feeling of being home and truly home had to mean a lot.
Yeah, and especially, around the Christmas time, my mom always likes to decorate the house, and I think that's the best time that it is and probably the most cleanest. So especially with me there. But yeah, it was definitely really good to get back.
Yeah, certainly. And obviously the Bayshore, that's the type of rink a player like you typically thrives in, right? Big body, get to the front of the net, and obviously being able to play there and take on, again, a team that you spent a lot of time growing up rooting for. Had to be somewhat strange, but pretty cool at the same time.
Yeah, it was strange for sure. And that rink for sure. It just I don't think anyone likes playing in that rink. So I don't mind it at all. Growing up there, it's a rink that I wanted to always play in. So just to be on that moment, but it's definitely a battle in that. But I think that was also the most game I've ever chirped too. So just to be there is pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, sometimes you gotta dish it out, right?
Yeah.
Are you typically a big chirper or stay pretty quiet?
Minor hockey, I was a huge chirper.
Okay.
Because I didn't play him again my U14 year, and I
Yeah.
sat on the bench, and that was my job, kind of just to chirp people.
Okay.
So kind of carried on. I didn't get a lot of people that like me, but I kind of thought that was my game.
What's like the code of honor with that in the OHL? Like, is there like if you're a rookie, you kind of gotta like stay quiet and like not like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like kind of, and then earn your role, or like, because the way I see it, like if you're out there and you got something to say, and why not?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think as a rookie, like I kind of just shut my mouth a little bit because I don't want to say the wrong thing. But at times I also like feel like I have to. But like obviously they're gonna hit you with better chirps, so you can't like let your guard down there. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is just they got more experience than you in this league, so you can't really say much.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, you think ahead of 2 or 3 years down the line, you might have like, if there was an award for chirping, who knows? Maybe you'd be the guy who gets it.
Maybe, yeah, hopefully.
There you go. Like I'm kind of curious about that because you think, like, of course, big baseball guy. I think I mention it every episode. Like, there's kind of like a code of honor within the clubhouse of like, okay, the rookies just kind of stay quiet, stay out of the way, and then the veterans are the guys who do the talking. I guess in hockey sense, that would be on the ice more than in the room, because especially within this group too, it feels like it's such a closely knit group. And I was talking about this with Tristan Trevino a little bit, how there are kind of segments, of course, the young guys kind of hang out with you and Cato and Michael DeLessio and Tyler Cooper, and the college guys and the veteran guys, but then there's like this such a strong link between everybody that brings it all into one cohesive group.
Yeah, that's like the one thing that I was kind of the most nervous about coming to the OHL was I don't know how the guys are going to act. I didn't know if I wanted to be myself right away or not. I'm still opening up to the guys, but they are amazing. Like, you don't really see much this like a good of group in the OHL as this one. So, but yeah, there's obviously the little groups that we have, like the school guys. We don't really get to see much of the veterans and stuff. So, but yeah, like the bus rides and the hotels, like we're all kind of in it together, and we all know that we're together.
Yeah, and the school guys, obviously, you're seeing each other in the hallway every day, right?
Yeah.
So like, what's that like going to school while also playing in the OHL? Obviously, the time element is a big part of that. You get home from a road trip on a Sunday night, and then all of a sudden you're turning around 7 a.m. Monday, if not earlier, you're at school, right? So like, that's a big part of it, but also just the like the social element of high school and doing it with these guys that you're with all the time, but then also having maybe other friendships outside of that. I don't know, like, what's that dynamic like?
Yeah, like we go to school and it's really early, especially on big road trips, like you said.
Yeah.
But it's tough. Me and Caden are always waking up like, man, like, why do we gotta go? Like, but then we get there. Like, when we first started, it was really cool because we kind of made a friend group right away, and we had a lot of teachers. Me and Caden would go to the volleyball games to support like the teams there, and we've never experienced it in the States either. So it's really cool to have like volleyball games with packed barn and stuff like that. So we just went out and kind of experienced it. But we had teachers come up to us and be like, you guys are the first Otters to ever do this. You guys are the first Otters, to make this much of friends at the school and stuff. So we kind of took that like all right, like this is pretty cool, I guess. And obviously being in a new town and city, like it's hard to make new friends, but we've done it pretty great, and we've had the opportunity to get rides from guys at our school and make a little friend groups like that. So it's really cool just to go like that to school.
That is cool because, again, high school is such an interesting time. Like, I think back to all the friend groups that I have now, that people I still stay in touch with today. And obviously for you guys too, and coming completely from the outside, kids that have probably been together through school from, kindergarten to now.
Yeah.
And then here are these Otters, and obviously you guys are there different hours, kind of there in and out, but like to be able to kind of immerse yourself within that high school culture, if you will.
Yeah, like it's really cool, and especially in the States, like they do it a whole different way than we do back at home. But again, like you said, like the friendships in high school are really, like, that's where you make most of your friends. And I even look back at, where I go to school back at home, and all of them are, they're like my brothers, and we even have the friends that are girls, and we have a big group back at home for sure that I really miss for sure. But yeah, coming here, you just want to make friends and have a new life other than hockey. I think that's the big thing. Just kind of get your mind off hockey at once in a bit. But yeah, it's really cool.
That's huge, right? Because again, you're at the rink so much.
Yeah.
And to have to go to a volleyball game. Do you get to go to a football game at all or no?
We haven't. We went to soccer. We missed all the football ones.
High school football in Erie.
Yeah.
And Zach, who's behind the camera, is a big high school football guy here in Erie, Harbor Creek grad. High school football in Erie, if you have the chance to go next year, it's legit. Like,
we'll probably try for sure.
It's pretty cool. Like, again, packed stadiums. Like, Prep McDowell's the big rivalry here.
Yeah.
But like there are some pretty sweet. I mean, you look at our schedule. Like the reason we don't play a lot of Friday nights at home over the course. And again, Friday nights are tough though too, because typically there's a game like this coming Friday here. At time of recording is a very rare Friday off day. But the Friday night lights in Erie, it's a pretty sweet thing. So if you do have the chance to check it out, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, we'll have to do that for sure. Because even what I said, like we don't get that in Canada, like not the big high school games. So I was really excited for that.
Yeah, it's a cool element, and it's something that's kind of like a staple of Erie. Is the high school football, and we typically don't play those Fridays because, again, all the eyes go on high school football news coverage. A lot of our fans are typically fans that would go. It's just like such a strong connection to the schools here, which I think is. It's weird to me in a way because it's like, okay, like here we are and we're putting all this into high school football, like great, but at the same time it's kind of unique and cool that like it is such a fabric of the community.
Yeah, that is really cool. I definitely have to go next year.
Yeah, and obviously the Otters such a fabric of the community here as well. But we've talked about a little bit about what you like to do away from the rink. What are some other things, some other spots that you've enjoyed so far here in your time in Erie?
I think the beach was a big thing when I first came down here. We were actually playing volleyball, me and Caden, Hudson Wozni, and Andrew Willis. Huge volleyball games. We put money on it, $50, I think, a game. And I remember one time we were playing in a thunderstorm, and it was dedication. It was so fun though. But I never actually got to golf. But I'm a big golfer, so. I never got to golf, but 5-iron was really cool too when we went.
Great spot.
And I think just going out and eating, like me and Kate, like Dairy Queen, big Blizzard guys. So,
okay. I can get down with that.
Yeah, that's one of our go-tos for sure. And then Wegmans is also another one. We go like every Sunday off day.
Unbelievable subs.
Yeah. Oh, we get them all the time. So good. Pizza's so good.
Yeah.
We just go get some snacks, fill out the house, so it's really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So many great spots in Erie, a lot of great spots downtown. Again, it's kind of like it's unique because we do have so many local places. I imagine Meaford and Owen Sound, like there's got to be some dialed local spots up there.
Yeah, like there's like the odd restaurant that you'll find that like not a lot of people that come out from outside, they don't know about, and everyone there knows about. So like it's good to have them, but like also you want that spot to yourself as well.
I was gonna say, is there a spot you mind sharing on the air that like next time we're in Owen Sound, Meaford area, we have to?
Yeah, like the Damn Pub's good. Leaky Canoe's like the biggest one, I think, in Meaford. Great restaurant. Just everyone goes there for wings and some beer after a big game or a weekend. So
obviously going back to Meaford as well with the curling on that last road trip as well. What was that like essentially bringing the guys, the entire team through your hometown?
Yeah, like I've only been to the curling place I think twice, maybe just to the upstairs. Like I've never curled in my life. So just walking off that bus, and just seeing the scenery of Meaford on the way to that place, like it was really cool. And my dad was there with his buddy because his buddy owns the place, and I call him my uncle. He's that close to me, so it was really cool. I think he was the one who kind of suggested it to me to if we need something for team bonding, like he'll open it up for us, and that was really cool. And the rink's right across from it, so I kind of just took a big look at the rink and kind of realized where I came from, and that was the biggest thing that really hit me. But the curling was cool to have all the people like from the States come, like guys don't know on our team where that is, and to have them come to Meaford, like my hometown, that was really cool.
That is cool. And I imagine the amount of pride you're kind of feeling for your town,
Yeah.
right? And again, kind of looking back and saying, wow, like this is where I came from and here I am now at the OHL. Like that's got to be pretty full circle.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing that hit me, I think, was just looking at that rink, like knowing that's where I grew up playing and where I am now. So
Yeah, that is pretty sweet. And obviously the curling club, I was talking to Greg Cowan, who covers the Attack for the Owen Sound Sun-Times, and he was talking about how the Meaford Curling Club is a pretty famous spot, and there's some pretty big names come out of there.
yeah, one of my dad's buddies, I forget his name, but he grew up with him, and he's on the Canadian team and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's sweet. That's cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of people actually curl in Meaford. I think that's one of the biggest things they
that's
do.
like the thing to do in
yeah,
Meaford is
it's
curling.
one of the biggest things. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. I
Yeah.
would never. Again, that's something that we talk about some of the differences with how big high school football and high school
Yeah.
sports are here. Like curling, like there was a time you could curl in downtown Erie. I think they had like an outdoor spot set up, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly. But it's just like it's not a thing here.
Yeah, like that's a cool thing too. Like you come to different spots and like they have so much different traditions that everyone like you don't expect. But yeah, Meaford's our curling. We big apple people too. Apple
Okay.
orchards is a big thing, and
So here it's grapes with
yeah,
Northeast
yeah,
and
that's what I
making
heard.
wine. Like yeah.
So that's one of the biggest things actually is apples. So
That's again. I love to travel. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing this job if I didn't love to
Yeah.
travel. But that's one thing I just love about going to different places is getting to understand different cultures, different things that people like to do, and how every town, no matter where you go, even every OHL city, like there's something unique and special about each place, which is really cool to see. And again, it's a privilege that we get to bounce around all these spots.
Yeah, that is really cool just to see every spot that you go to. Like I've never experienced like North Bay, Sudbury, all that.
Yeah.
Like it's really Sioux even. Like
it's gorgeous.
it's so nice. Like I loved the Sioux going up there on that trip. Like
Yes.
it was just so nice to get up there for sure.
It's just like it's a different way of life.
Exactly.
And it's
yeah.
like there's something relaxing about that. Just being
Yeah.
like in the Sioux with the water.
Yeah.
Like just I did a couple of late night walks even just right on the water there.
Yeah.
And just like the serenity with the bridge in the background and the Sioux Locks right ahead there. And
Yeah.
like just the industry that goes through there. Like it's
Even
just
the bus rides, like
Yeah.
normally I'm sleeping and like on my phone, but like that was one trip up to the Sioux where I was like I'm taking this scenery and like, we're up in the mountains, it felt like,
Yeah.
and like the leaves were just changing. So that was definitely a special thing.
that was a cool ride over there too. Yeah, very scenic
yeah.
area of the country. And yeah, Sudbury, just like the grittiness
Yeah.
of it with like the rocks and knowing
Yep.
the mining history there. It's again, that's one of my favorite places in the OHL. And
Yeah.
Sudbury, it's a rink I'm bummed that it's going away
Yeah.
because it's such an old school barn that is just like they don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah, like even my sister, she goes to school actually in Sudbury, so
Okay.
that was pretty cool to get up there. And my mom came down as well for that. And but that was like she's telling me how Sudbury is, and I was like, I don't know, but yeah, it was really cool to kind of experience another place like that.
100%. What has been your favorite rink that you've played in? You haven't gotten to them all yet, but what are you missing? Windsor, Sarnia? Is that it?
I think so, and Brantford, I think.
Brantford,
maybe,
yep.
yeah.
Yep.
But I actually like the Sioux. That was one
That's
of
a
my
good
favorite
one.
rinks. But obviously you got London. It's nice. I think that's everyone's favorite. But Kitchener was really cool. I think that was because I've been into a few Kitchener games actually. So that was really cool.
Yeah, the Odd is one of those places that is just like you just feel the history when you walk in there.
Yeah.
Winning there, and again, we just experienced that a couple of weeks
Yeah.
ago. There's nothing better than winning in a building
No.
like Kitchener, London, walking out like I don't know,
It was
sold
awesome.
out. Like, come on.
Yeah, and especially on their teddy bear toss night
Yep.
too. Like that was just it was cool. Like, but their intro, like I just
Yeah.
get chills every time the lights are off. They're waving their flashlights around. Like that was cool. But then they're chirping us like all the fans and stuff, and it's like we're walking off with a W. Like that was
That's
was nice.
pretty fun.
Yeah,
Like walking off, especially if you like had one guy chirping you the whole game, and then
yeah.
you get the win. You kind of give him a little nod. Like,
Yeah.
that's got to be
That
sweet.
was sweet for
That's
sure.
pretty awesome. So, being able to again experience these places in these big rinks, right? In these big
Yeah.
arenas at this level, has to be a lot of fun. And obviously, walking away with W's in some of the big ones certainly, and just Erie and what's it been like playing at the Erie Insurance Arena, and obviously we talk about the fans abroad, but also here a pretty loud, pretty rambunctious place to play.
Yeah, and I take that back to like even U16, like even like the crowds that we had there, like you don't experience it, right? So like you don't know what to expect coming in. But like I remember like we had one game last year and it was in Exeter where I go to school and like the whole town was there. It was packed and I think it was one of my best games. We were in the finals against Sun County. We actually tied that game, but it was just so cool, and I get so much chills walking into a big rink with a packed barn. So coming into the Erie, I didn't know what to expect with the fans, or I'd never seen the rink before. So when I did see the rink for the first time, I was like, all right, like this is a nice rink. Like it's big, it's spacious, like it's comfy too. And like even my dad's buddies come up and they don't want to leave. Like they're always like, can we go down for a game? Like they just love being up at that rink. And then the fans, obviously, I think they're the best fans in the league. Like you don't see like a fight, like they're always up on their feet, and a goal they're always up, and even if we're down, they're supporting us. So
yeah, it's an electric place to play, and again, it's a loud building. Yeah. Especially again, you get toward the second half and the games get more and more meaningful, and it's just an unbelievable place to have grown up going to games there, and obviously being a part of it now. And I imagine it's even better being on the ice.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So for you guys, as we kind of wrap things up here, obviously exciting times currently and exciting times for you. Talk to me about your future for one, and obviously with rule changes and everything, here you are, you're about halfway through your rookie year in the OHL. What does that future, do you think, look like for you?
I think I'm just going to play it by ear. I don't think there's any rush into, committing to schools early or anything like that. And, I want to be on this team. I want to wear that logo with pride for sure. And I think that's the biggest thing is just being here, even for next year, just to take in the younger guys as well and kind of knowing they're in my spot this year and, kind of just making them confident as well and just be one of the future guys on this team.
That's got to be exciting too, to be able to kind of wear that leadership hat as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of my biggest attributes is being a leader. And I think, as I open up more and more this year, I'm going to, take on that role. And especially for next year, the younger kids coming in, I want to, be a leader for them. And I think that's, what I'm going to do in the future.
As we move along through, this part of the season, what are some goals for this club and what are some goals for yourself?
I think just keep on winning. Like we're playing great right now. We're sticking to our system. We're all playing together and we're trusting each other is the biggest thing right now. And I think that's our biggest thing is just to keep on rolling this. And this boat is great and the guys are great. So I think that's the biggest thing. But for myself, I think just to take in experience with these guys, some of them are going to be gone next year. That's going to be hard because they're a great group of guys. And but yeah, just to find my real game in this league, to find my true self. And I think that's going to grow with confidence and game by game.
Absolutely. Murr, it's been a lot of fun, man. Thanks so much for taking some time.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, that'll do it for another edition of Off the Record. Reminder, you can find us anywhere you get your podcast. Just search OTT The Record. And, of course, live every Thursday on the Gem City Sports Podcast Network presented by Rebich Investments. For our guest, Jake Murray, my name's Trevor Cabella. Thanks so much for joining us on another edition of Off the Record.